little bit different in time. But in Spain's 8 o'clock, UK 7 o'clock, and you guys over there in the States, you're anywhere between 11 o'clock in the morning, good morning, all the way through to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Unless, of course, you're in the mid-Atlantic, then maybe it's a bit later then as well. I don't know. Wherever you are, welcome. Big welcome to the show. I'm Phil Griggs. I'm your host of Cafe Clairvoyance. And this is a spiritual show which interacts with everything about spirituality, whether it's about astrology, whether it's about all the things that go weird and bonk in the middle of the night. Can I say that? Can I say that on one of these shows? I think I can. I'll just about get away with that. Anyway, so, and on Tuesdays, as you know, guys, here, what I go and do is I go and introduce, I go and bring on fabulous guests. And every Tuesday, don't we just have the most fabulous guests going? And tonight, will not let you down either, because I've got a fabulous guest coming on. Her name is Deborah Jane Sutton, and you may have heard of her. She's an author. She does the cards, and she's got so much else to tell you. In fact, if I said healing yourself to happiness, I think I'm already getting her like saying, "Come on, I want to speak now. I want to start now." And I know that she's on the wayside there, so she's outside the front door, just coming in. But just before we start that, let's start the show. It's lovely to see some of you guys here online tonight. We've got Deborah. She's coming in, and she's coming on YouTube. So, guys, you can come in on YouTube as well. You just look for Cafe Clairvoyance, and you just join the show here, and you'll find that we're all there doing exactly the same things we do on Facebook, and you can interact as well. I think I'm far better looking on Facebook than YouTube, so probably better this one. Anyway. maybe not. Taz, the wonderful Taz, who I did a live with today, she's coming on and she's saying hello, and she's getting her point across. She's not just saying hello once, she's saying hello twice. And Susanna says hello, as does the wonderful Sarah just down the road there. And Joe, thank you so much. Hi everyone, hope you're okay. We are doing fine. And just say to you guys, I think you guys deserve this, as it's sort of evening time. Let's give you one of these. That's it. That just keeps you going, doesn't it? Just lets you know things wonderful. Okay, so guys, healing. What is healing? What is healing? When we talk about healing, we think probably about crystals, don't we? We probably think about very different things. And sometimes here, healing can take place in many forms. And sometimes we do like a self-healing. Perhaps some of you are aware of this. Perhaps some of you want to share your story, because the wonderful guest I've come on tonight, she's very much into this discovery of healing herself back into happiness, and what this journey was and what it meant. And maybe you guys have got some things you want to say, and maybe at the start of a journey or halfway through it, and maybe some things you need to learn on the way. But we're going to have a fabulous time talking about this tonight. And I think here, I'm just going to go and look at the doorbell and just see if anybody's there, and there she is, she's there. So let's go and bring on now the fabulous Deborah Jane Sutton. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. So we can do this in the first 10 minutes. We're doing this. That's it. To all you lovely people coming on, and that's it. We're spreading the love. This is healing, isn't it? Healing at its best time here, I think. Here. Good. So a lot of you guys here saying hello. That's always lovely to see you guys. And okay, my language, emotions, and healing. So there's a lot of people here, Deborah, who are very much into the healing process you've gone through yourself. And as much as sometimes we don't even recognize it, do we? We've gone through traumatic times, we come up the other end. And what it is we've done to get those journeys, and sometimes we don't even recognize, do we, that we've healed. We just said, "Oh yeah, I'm better now," without really thinking about what we've gone through. So I think it's incredible. It's absolutely fabulous to have you on the show tonight and discuss all this and your journey and how you would like to put your story across. So, Deborah, first of all, where are you from?
I'm originally from Brighton on the south coast of
That's
the
a
UK,
fabulous.
but I now live in Valencia, just south of the city, among the orange groves.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous! What a place to be. So, dare I ask, did you have many oranges this year?
Yes, and we're looking forward to them starting again. We have a little break in the summer. Mother Nature's breaking oranges in the
Okay.
summer, and they're just going to come out again like next month, hopefully. So, yeah.
Because you can't beat good old, I know we say Seville oranges, but these are Valencia oranges, and they're even better than Seville ones, I think. Even better. Yes. So
Well,
that's
they are, they're free, and you pick them off your tree.
oh, they're fabulous. I'm just going to get some orange juice.
Exactly.
Good. That sounds fabulous. I mean, so is this? So, what was your journey? Why did you go to Spain?
Well, it's interesting because actually, I wanted to mention this if you ask your audience. If you think back to what you were doing 10 years ago, 2010 was a real energetic turning point for many people.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that at the time when my life brought me. There you go. There you
Energetic turning point. That's what we call it.
2012 was a big wake-up call for a lot of people, and that's when I met my husband. So yes, there's
Ah,
some real relevance because of the energies that come in. And you know this as an astrologer, but I came over here originally as a teacher at a British school,
okay.
and I was a single mum, and it was here that everything changed, and it's here that I started to heal myself quite literally in all areas of my life. And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Okay, so that sounds fantastic. So you healed all areas of your life. So if there was an area of your life that needed healing, were you happy to talk about this? Is there something there that you said you need to heal from?
It was a lot of it is unconscious. I mean, I think healing is another word for evolution, spiritual
Wow.
growth, spiritual development. I mean, healing is happening anyway. We instinctively heal. We know that the body instinctively heals. So when we talk about energy healing, it's really allowing the body to go back to the way it instinctively heals itself.
That now, this just sounds like so much perfect sense, and a lot of us put it into a very dramatic way of putting it. I know modern things are saying here. You'll now find your inner peace, your inner calmness, your self love, your self respect in some ways here, and yet you're putting your body back. Now that's interesting. Put it back into the way it should be, the
But
way
we
it
are
should be living.
self-love. We are self-love. So putting it back into the way it should be. Self-love is to me, love, it sounds corny, but it's true. Love is the answer. Love is the energy, right?
I agree with you. I think I'm happiest in love if I'm doing something completely stupid, really happy, bouncing around, making people laugh, having an absolute scream of a time. People saying to me, "You're a big kid," and I think, yeah, but I'm in love with life.
Well, that's exactly it. And I think that's the important thing is that we worry too much what other people think.
Oh, too
And
too right, too right.
it's all about being who we came here to be. And it's not about doing. People often ask me, about their purpose. And our purpose is to be who we came here to be, and to express ourselves and experience ourselves, the true self within, our soul. And that I think is lost under all this third dimensional, restrictions and emotions and limiting beliefs and everything else and conditioning. So really,
Oh, that's a
to
word. That's a word I love. Conditioning. How
which
we get
one?
conditioned. Oh, people. I know we talk about drift and we talk about Lenore, but conditioning. No, I think here it's a big word. That is a big word that comes out of even to do with the civil service. When I was in the prison service, used to talk about the word conditioning and how people would try to manipulate around other people. And they would condition them. So the worst state is I think is when a prisoner tries to condition a member of staff. Like for instance, they get them to, like for instance, the Stockholm effect. Oh, I feel really sorry for you. I feel really sorry for you. But that's conditioning. Yes, but the prisoner knows exactly what they're doing, and they're the biggest. Yes, yeah, I think it's a big thing. The Stockholm. Oh my goodness. Yes, so you're there of a certain cause, and don't worry, I'll bring things in for you. Whoa, no, you're going the wrong way. But conditioning is a big word, isn't it?
I think so. I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's the limiting beliefs, and most of the limiting beliefs that we've been passed on by our parents and schools. As a I was previously a school teacher, right? And I actually cringe at some of the limiting beliefs that I passed on. I mean, it's done innocently. We've all been conditioned to such an extent that we're not aware of it. Of course, that's the whole point of it.
Yeah. Do you know what I think as well, kid? It's something that makes me think about this. Is when you're young and associate this to fashion. That when you're young, and your parents are telling you a way to behave, or even what to wear, they're teaching you at the fashion of that day. For instance, flares and platform shoes, and they're telling you to wear these because they're stylish. But that's a type of conditioning. Now we go on the psychological, and we'll still take that forwards, and yet what we're left with here is, but we're living in a way, if we relate it to the metaphor back to fashion, we're living in this time of flares and platform shoes. We're not living in a modern time, which is more a complete different fashion altogether. So the metaphor between the two, I think, is fascinating when we talk about the ancestral side, what we're conditioned to think by people, and how we've been believing it. I
Oh,
think it's
definitely.
extraordinary.
I think there's a lot of truths coming out this year, as I'm sure you're aware. Next year is going to be a big year for truths coming out. And I am always saying to people, don't believe everything you read, but also don't believe everything you think,
Yes.
because if your beliefs have not changed over the last year, you're not evolving.
I know, isn't that true? I totally believe that. I think that needs a round of applause just to say, hey, that's a good statement there. Good statement. Now, this is interesting here because we're talking about conditioning, and now we've got hairdressers coming in saying, I talk about conditioning treatments every day. I think she's on about hair conditioning. But even back to the old days, when you think about the conditioner used to wear Brute 33 or denim or Old Spice. Nowadays, you wouldn't be seen dead in it. Actually, Brute 33 is quite nice. Is there nothing wrong with that? I'm sure there's some girls out there that think, oh yeah, they love Brute 33. Perhaps. Maybe I am that old fashioned. Anyway, but it is interesting, isn't it? I think when we talk that how we are held back, we're not living our true soul by this. So how do we go about this change of removing all these obstacles in our life, removing all these blocks, and coming forwards and saying, right, how do we uncondition the conditioning? Yeah,
Well,
the hair beauticians are going to go,
that,
hang on a minute, I've got to work on that one. How do you uncondition?
it, I want to quote Nikola Tesla to you. If you want to know the secrets of the universe,
Go
think
on.
in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency.
Love it.
And that's exactly where I start from. But if you're talking about releasing the conditioning, um, I look at it from an energy perspective. I look at things as energy. So we're moving at the moment from 3D to 5D, and we want to transcend 4D. So
Yeah.
what is it that's in 4D that we want to transcend? Well, your fourth dimensional energy body is your emotional, mental energy body. So
Okay.
that means it's your emotions and your thought processes, your beliefs, your mental processes. That's what we're transcending. So it's a case of mastering your emotions and mastering your thoughts in order to move into 5D. And so how do we do that is the question. I personally offer the emotion code. I use the emotion code. The emotion code is an emotional healing modality which has completely changed my life. And I have blogs on my website about how that's happened. And that releases trapped emotional energy that we've got trapped within us, because trapped emotions are the underlying cause of malfunction, disease, illness, everything.
Oh,
And
definitely.
it's also, if you include fear and things like that, it's the number one cause of our immune system lowering, and it's the number one cause of keeping us dumbed down. So releasing our emotional energy is really, really important. And also the beliefs, identifying which beliefs are holding you back. And I studied Psych K, which is the belief changing modality, which is recommended by Bruce Lipton.
Yes.
And that's amazing. That's amazing for identifying, and you identify the beliefs that you're not in alignment with, the positive beliefs that you're not in alignment with. And then we work with this brain integration scheme to align you with the vibration of that positive belief that you want to be. Like, the universe is a safe place, I'm worthy, I am good enough, and I love and accept myself is the big one. That's the one I love helping people with. Helping people align with their own self-love is, it's the life-changing one. It really is. So that's how we transcend the fourth dimension. And the fifth dimension, our soul is vibrating in the fifth dimension, right? And our soul just wants to be creative. Our soul just wants to be nurtured, which means exploring itself through creativity.
I think
which isn't really nurtured in the schools anymore. Sorry, yeah.
No.
I
think was absolutely blinding, that statement there. I think especially when you said this isn't in the schools anymore. And this was Sir Ken Robinson, has unfortunately recently passed away. He was a fabulous chap. I used to love his stuff there. He was saying here that in schools we're being industrialized to think that we've got to conform to wave or standard, which they are, rather than actually being creative and using seeds to create imagination, to create ideas. And yet we're stuck in this philosophy at the top here. We've got to do English, maths and physics. Then we've got to do geography. Then we've got to do history. Then we've got to do, so something else. Then right down the very bottom here is something to do with the arts, something to do with music, something to do with drama.
Yeah. So I am so passionate about it, Phil, because I was 30 years teaching. So I am really passionate about the education system, and I'm glad that it's having a complete overhaul. My favourite Ken Robinson quote is one that says, the gardener doesn't actually grow the plants, he creates the optimal conditions.
Yes.
And I think it's exactly the same for the children.
Yes.
You know, we're not influencing the children, we're creating the environment where the child can access their own source creativity. Yeah. And I also believe that if you nurture the soul, there is a creative and abundant path that appears.
Absolutely. Oh, do you know what? This is fantastic. I really love tonight's show. This is making so much sense, isn't it, guys out there? So much sense. So I think we're having an absolutely fabulous evening. It's come up to 18 minutes past 8 here in Spain, whatever time it is for you. We're just going to do a little bit of this and we'll be back in a moment. Tonight I'm joined by the fabulous Deborah Jane Sutton. This is an absolutely wicked evening of talking discussion about healing our soul. They're going from the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and going to the fifth dimension, and what healing is all about, and how sometimes we're not even aware of what the healing is, but it's so deep in our subconscious. And yet what Deborah's saying here is, and what a lot of people coming here is interesting, how we're relaying back to fashion. And you guys out there are hysterical, because you're saying here, as soon as I mention Brute and Old Spice, you lot there just seem to be giggling your little heads off. So thank you very much. I'll have to do more of this. I'll try and think of some of the others. Oh yeah, Aramis. Mind you, that's come back into fashion now, isn't it? Come back into fashion. There you go. Anyway, so we're talking about these energies going on to this other dimension here, and the different tools and techniques, and yet how you're saying here that healing is an evolution. We're going through that evolutionary phase of life to take ourselves from our old phase to where we need to be. And so I love things like NLP. I love things like emotional freedom technique. I love things like hypnosis and psychotherapy to help people to think and to become more creative. Because when you think of you know this anyway, but when you think of our conscious mind, it's a small little thing compared to the conscious and subconscious, which is massive. It fills a room. fills a room where we're too much into this conscious factor, not living the creative. And I think that's what you're saying here, Deborah, is that we need to be more creative in order to find this healing, in order to find this purpose here.
Well, yes, but I think sometimes the word creative puts people off because, again, I think school has a lot to answer for in that case, because people think of creativity as being painting pictures, drawing, artwork.
Plasticine, Lego.
But creative is just being. You know, you can just be who you are. It's not like you have to actually do anything. And one of the things I offer, Phil, is the soul profiles. And as a soul realignment practitioner, I offer soul profiles, which is reading the soul in the Akashic records and finding what energy the soul is made of, and what origins, where the soul has come from. Also tells us something about the divine gifts, characteristics, and strengths of the soul. And when you use those gifts and characteristics, that's how you're going to express more of who you are. And that's how you're going to align with your abundance. But the problem is most people don't acknowledge their gifts as being gifts. For example, a lot of people are like divine compassion, and their gift is actually catering to people's basic needs. But they will assume that everybody can do that. But the truth is they can't, because you know, some people enjoy catering to basic needs of children, the elderly, animals, you know, other people don't.
No.
Some people, maybe they need to, some people divine love, they literally just need to be with people where they can share their energy. People don't realize their energy is so powerful.
Yes.
You know, and I think it's important for people to understand that we are energy beings. We are creating our reality through the energy that we are inside.
Yeah.
And you know the Rumi quote that says, "You're not a drop in the ocean; you're the whole ocean in one drop." I always like to think, well, you're not a single human being; you're the whole universe in a single human being.
I think it's amazing. We're all part of this enormous energy, or you are the individual part of this enormous energy. You could do anything you want to do. You just set your mind to it. Interesting here, Karen Holistic, she comes through and she says, my son had 36 exams. Oh my God, 30 exams. I was at school. I don't remember having that many exams. So much pressure on them nowadays. Exams have been stressful, but 36, honestly, that is just insane, isn't it? That's just insane. And I think, yeah, wow, to have 36 exams. I remember taking 9 and thinking, oh my God, this is just overload. I'm thinking 9 exams, but nowadays 36, that's just crazy. And it's interesting here because I think the demand on people nowadays, Deborah, I think is more so than what it's ever been, especially when we look at normal world around us. And yet, this is something that I was actually thinking about the other day, and it came to me, and I thought this perhaps means something, is that we've got to live in a life now which is very different to what we used to live a year ago. And we've been limited in the way that we can lead our lives, which is fine because that's what law out there says we've got to go and do. But one of the things that's connecting us all, and I thought this is amazing, actually, really spirituality and connecting with ourselves has never been a better time. Never been.
Well, I think the whole thing that's going on this year is twofold. You've got the third dimensional, you know, physical world playing out the play for us, the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and isn't 2020 a blockbuster, guys? You know,
yes.
But you've also got what's going on behind the scenes energetically within all of us. There's high intensity light coming in. So our vibration is rising. Lots of people spending the lockdown on research, finding out what's really going on. A lot of people spending time on their own and being able to go within, you know, and being able to actually find the power within themselves, rather than looking for everything they want and need on the outside, realizing that there is a whole different world universe on the inside. That's what is creating everything, you know. And it's, you know, that phrase that says, if you want to change something on the outside, you've got to change it on the inside first. I mean, this is so true. And I think a lot of people have had the opportunity to go within and to work on themselves. And this has been consciously and unconsciously.
Oh, I totally, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think some of the stuff that really makes it profound nowadays is when we used to think here, maybe going back a year, 2 years ago, and we're saying here, if you want something on the outside, you've got to change on the inside. I think people were quite lost in some respect about what they've got to do. What they've got to do. In some respects, they go, oh, sod it, give it up. But now I think people are actually going, yeah, I could do that. I can go on the inside and I can change. And people are naturally doing it. I love that statement you made there, because this is much about the... I talked with Guillemar, who's the astrologer, and she comes on. She says, you just got to be. Yes, all you got to be, just got to be. And if you're just being, everything else out there will just fall into its natural place it's going to be. If we really become our true selves and fall into our hearts, rather than spinning around our heads. And I think the old way of thinking as well, a lot of people, I call psychosis, or a lot of people with psychological issues at the moment thinking, I've gone through so much drama, so much ancestral challenges in my life that now I've got to deal with it. I've got to do something about it. And I think the universe is saying here, come on guys, now's your time. And I think it's easier to deal with this healing than what it's ever been.
Well, I think, yes. And the thing is, so you're right. A lot of people are like, what does it mean to go within? They don't understand what that means because they've never been taught it. Of course, from now on, we're going to be teaching our children, these techniques, the self-healing techniques. They're all going to, be allowed to be more creative because it's instinctive. If you watch young children playing, and they're talking to their supposedly imaginary friends who are probably spirits, really. And then their teacher tells them, don't be so silly. I mean, if all of that is stopped, the children are never going to be conditioned out of their spiritual selves and out of their, soul space. So that's going to be wonderful. But the people who are watching this and thinking, what can I do? What is going within me? If I could just give a little example, and something that I think hopefully will help people at the moment with all the fear going on. And there's a lot of triggers going on, with what's going on outside when you step outside. And a lot of it at the moment, a little guideline that we can follow is the responding as opposed to reacting. What is the difference between responding and reacting? So when somebody triggers you, that means that they've triggered a negative emotion within you. The negative emotion is vibrating at a low frequency, okay? I mean, when in my teachings, Phil, I don't know how this will come out, but in my teachings, I'm always using this scale.
Okay.
It's the scale of consciousness, and I'm always teaching from this. So it's triggering an emotion within you, a low vibrating emotion within you. So you've got a low vibrating emotion triggering your low vibrating emotion. If you react, a knee-jerk reaction, you're just going to be having a conflict and a confrontation in a very low frequency way. And that's not going to help anybody. And as Einstein said, you cannot solve a solution with the thinking at the same frequency, as the cause of it. So the difference between reacting and responding is a breath. Well, I always say it's a breath.
I think that's fantastic. A breath.
With a breath. So you get triggered. You've got to catch yourself. And it does take practice. It does take practice. So don't beat yourself up if you react and you respond, with a reaction to the trigger. But just try and stop yourself. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Take a deep breath down to the belly. And just by taking a full lung breath and a breath down to the belly, that your breath is your soul. Your breath comes in. Think about it. Your first breath of life. Your soul comes in with your first breath. It leaves with your last breath. So you're basically inhaling all of who you are. So all of that's going through your mind. It calms your body. Remember that we're watching a movie. Okay, because that helps you distance yourself. It helps you observe the situation like a witness, as Eckhart Tolle tells us in The Power of Now. And then you can respond from a higher frequency. You can respond from a higher level of consciousness. That might involve walking away. It doesn't matter. It's a movie. You can do that. It might involve talking calmly to that person. I don't know. It depends on the situation. But whatever your response is going to be, it's going to come from a higher level of consciousness.
This is beautiful.
And that can only be a good thing.
I think when you're coming out for that high level of consciousness and you're just being, you're living in a place where you're just, I agree with you. I think there is that matrix or that movie that's going on out there. And yet if you just figure it out and just take those breaths, and I think when you're talking about those emotions there, and you just take in a breath. Breath is one of the biggest things, and it's interesting here because as soon as you start talking about, you go into Eastern religions, you go to Buddhism, you go into those things there. They take breathing. Bring it Hindus, spirituality. You talk about mediumship. They will talk about your breath is one of the most important things about connecting.
Of course.
Yes, it's not just your everyday breathing. We take that for granted, but the way you take that breath in and then taking it right down to connect with that part of your soul, to light that light in you, and you could do amazing things. Yeah.
Well, just think about it. You, without your breath, is not you.
Yes, it's
And
someone else existing around here.
People have been telling us, like Bob Dylan, because the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Yes. Yes. Now, I love that.
I wrote a blog, one of my blogs. I mean, I have all these blogs on my website, people are interested. But I wrote a blog, The Importance of Breathing. And I remember at the time, my son said to me, are you really going to call it The Importance of Breathing? Do you think people don't understand the importance of breathing? And I said to him, no, I don't think people do understand.
No, I agree with that. I'm not insulting anybody on the show. No.
Actually, I think it's quite relevant now. Maybe I should post it.
Here's something I like. Everybody like this bit here. And this is interesting here, is how we see ourselves sometimes. It's having that self-belief in ourselves that we can see ourselves as very... Oops, sorry, I can't see me now. There you go. So I just like that one. It's quite old, but I think it's quite fitting by what we're talking tonight, and about looking into mirrors, sometimes seeing ourselves as a quiet little soul, but really, well, who's looking back at you is something mighty. And is to understand that and to remember that image there, that when you do look in a mirror, who's looking back at you is a lot bigger than what you know, than what you think you know. And yes, we're always very good at judging ourselves and thinking we're only capable of so much, and yet we're capable of so much more. And how many times have we been proved different? Okay, guys, it's coming up to that time. I come up to about 8:30. Now, look at... She's been itching for this all night. She has her cards. I have my cards. You have your cards.
Brilliant. Bill, but this is what we were saying. Yes. One of my mottos, just let me share this. One of my mottos is do the thing that makes your heart sing. And that whatever makes your heart sing, do more of it. And yeah. I mean, anyone that's seen me reading cards knows that I get really high. So yeah, yes. That's why I need to do more of it.
For me, it's probably telling jokes, but then people run away when I start telling jokes. They tend to leave me, to disappear somewhere. But it's fabulous, though. Okay, right. So, guys, we are back in 1 second. Now we're going to start doing readings, guys. So, if you have a question, I know Sarah Kay, you wrote in before. If you want to write your question out there, let's go do that. And just before we do that, let's take a tiny little break, and then straight afterwards we come back to do live readings, and we take people off the feed there as they come through. So we need your name, a colour, and definitely a colour and a question. I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, right. Let's go onto here. So let's go straight here. So the first person coming through is Cheryl. Cheryl's got the colour orange. She's just gone for a general reading. Not a major, not a corporal, not even a sergeant. She's gone for a general reading. Humour's good, isn't it? Did you like the army?
Okay. Do we have a surname?
That went straight over the top of your head, didn't it?
Sorry.
I said she's gone for a general reading. I said it could be a sergeant or a corporal.
Oh.
Anyway, right. Okay, so lady's name here. Let's come back here. Right, okay, just pick up the feed here. Where were we just again? Okay, so Cheryl, that's just... In fact, I'm going to pick up Cheryl's name. She's just gone for it. Yes, because I know you like the whole name. I'm just going to pick this up. And then we got that. In fact, that was a little bit earlier on. I was going to find that. Right. Okay. And we... there we go. Cheryl Portatuki. Cheryl Portatuki. So, guys, when you write in, can you write your whole name, please? Write your whole name, and can you also, with your colour there. And just to go back so I can see that feed there, that was saying colour orange of the general reading. Okay, good. Right. Okay, so there we go. There we go.
Can you give me that surname again?
Yes,
sorry.
Cheryl Porter. It's on the screen. Cheryl Portatuki.
Okay.
Cheryl Portatuki. It's on the screen now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, whilst you're having a little think there, I'm gonna have a little think. Whilst you're shuffling, do you want to go straight away, or do you want me to start?
I don't mind. It's up to you.
Okay, you shuffle away. I'll start here.
I can tell you straight.
Okay.
Oh, straight away. It's just come out. Shall I say it?
Got him.
Yeah. She is. It's the Five of Pentacles. So she has, and I want to say she has limiting beliefs around money. This lack. Scarcity thinking. I don't want to say that she has no money. I want to say that she's thinking that she has no money. And the message that I want to say to her is that it's not about how much money you have. It's about how you feel about how much money you have. And I want to share with her the affirmation of galore, galore. I have everything I need and more, because that will help fill every cell of her body with the feeling of abundance, which will get her away from that scarcity thinking. If you want to carry on, and then I'll pick one more for her afterwards, yes?
Okay. Oh, then, Cheryl, this is what I want to say. You've gone to colour orange. It's very nice here. The interesting thing I pick up about this is that the orange to me is like an energy which is very strong, but it's got to have focus. It's got to have focus to it, because otherwise it's just like... and it's gone everywhere, but it hasn't gone very far, hasn't gone to the place you want it to go to. So the thing I pick up here is to focus on what you're doing, because the orange energy with this is very powerful. And I have a lady and a gentleman who are just standing beside me here, and they're just putting my hand on my shoulder, which is just to reassure you. I bet here, Cheryl, just say here, just relax a bit. Would you understand the orange is also making you feel like, where have I got to go now? What have I got to do now? Have I got to do this? Have I got to do that? And it's no. It's a little bit, I feel like we're talking on the show here, it's got to be directed and just be. How's that? Good. Do you want to fire away again? What would you like to say, Deborah?
Okay, I pulled another one for Cheryl, which is the High Priestess.
Yeah.
Now, this is amazing. This is really, really powerful, Cheryl. What I want to say to you, what's coming through to me super, super clearly is you're not doing what you came here to do. You're not being, this is the most psychic card in the deck. This is psychic abilities. And there's nothing like 2020 to bring your psychic abilities out. So what I want to say to you, Cheryl, is that you've got psychic abilities. I don't know in what particular area, but I'm asking you to think about it, because look, she's got the moon is symbolic of unconscious fears, and she's got it completely tethered under her control. So this is about you having fear about putting whatever inspires you, whatever you're good at, whatever inspires you, putting those spiritual abilities out there. You have some fear about putting your spiritual abilities out there. And I want to say to you, please release that fear, because you need to get your spiritual abilities out there, Cheryl, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of humanity. That's what we're all doing in 2020, darling. And Cheryl, I'm feeling really strongly about this and really passionately. And the thing is, though, by getting your spiritual abilities out there, you're going to lift yourself out of this scarcity thinking.
Focus. Focus, focus. Where are you going? Mwah. Look at that. Double kiss.
Not the love to Cheryl.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, right. Sarah Katharina, she writes in. She said, general reader next week, please. My favourite colour is pink at the moment. Sounds like ATM, like you're one of those ATM, you've gone to money machine. I know it means at the moment. Yes. Okay. Right. Carry general reader next week. Okay, colour pink. If I want to focus on the colour pink, okay, I want to talk to a gentleman who was liking to come through. I want to talk about horses, and I also want to talk about dancing, and I also want to talk about being happier, yes, and the ability to be free. So that's my thing to say at the moment. So Katrina, that's what I'm picking up here. And there's this gentleman who's around me still, but I'm going to pass over to Deborah because I'd love her to do some readings there and see what you pick up there. So what card would you like to pick up there for Sarah?
Right. Okay. I let's see what's going on. Sarah, this is Sarah Katarina. Yes, Sarah, we've got the Ten of Swords here now. Now, just so that you know that I interpret the cards in a very energy healing perspective. But the Ten of Swords is very much like it looks, a feeling of being stabbed in the back. But more commonly, it's a feeling of you feel like you're back at square one. There's a feeling of, oh, not again. Oh, I'm back at square one. It's like you're feeling like you've been knocked back. Okay, but what came up with it, now you've got the Ten of Wands that's come up with it. And the Ten of Wands is very much about you carrying burdens on your shoulders. But not only that, carrying other people's burdens. So, Sarah, what I want to say to you, I want you to take time this week to really reflect on what's going on in your life. I think you have got people around you giving you too much responsibility, or it's you are taking on other people's problems and you're taking on other people's responsibilities, and you don't need to be doing it. Now, before you say to me, yes, but I've got this family member that needs help, and fine, I understand that, but let them do what they can do, because when we do everything for somebody else, we're not helping them access their own source energy, and especially if it comes to choices. Because we came here as souls with free will. Therefore, our ability to make our own choices is crucial to our spiritual development. So it's really important that anyone that you are helping, make sure they make their own choices. Okay? Because it's that energy that's weighing on your shoulders. That's what's weighing on your shoulders. So the summary is stop helping people if you can, because it's not helping them, because they need to help themselves, okay? And those people that you can't stop helping for whatever obligation, really focus on helping them help themselves. Because in the long run, Sarah, that's going to help you. Does that make sense?
I think that's probably going to make a lot of sense to her. And I think, Sarah, hopefully that helps there. Also pick up to say to you here, you're going to be offered a job. You're about to be offered a job which is going to give you more independence and hopefully give you a bit more structure there. So good. But lovely reading there. Okay, now let's go on to Jo Gardner. Jo Gardner, she goes, colour red and love reading, please. She's gone for love with 3 hearts. I wonder what they're significant of there. Is that 3 for luck or 3 men? Or... We're teasing. But colour red and love reading, please. Now, red to me, as soon as I start focusing on a colour red here, would you understand here that you need to release arguments, tensions, and energies like this away from your past? Because what's been holding you back here is like, I've been angry about this and I've been angry about that. And I just want to say to you here, what you're building into the future here, anything about love in your future has to be very different than what love was in the past. So it's about different people. It's about the way you're connecting with different people. It's the way you're lifting up your spiritual soul to connect with people who really resonate with you. And then that'll be cool. Good. I'm getting a big nod here. I'm getting a big nod. Yes.
You are getting a big nod.
No,
it's
yes.
It's exactly what I've got, Phil. So what I've got, this is for Jo Gardner. So what I've got is there's decision time, okay? Now, swords, we know, are air. They're inspiration, thought processes. So this is basically your thought processes. And our evolution is all about changing the way we think. If you change your thoughts, you can change your life. So there is a dilemma, okay, this way or that way, okay? Look, there's the little moon there of unconscious fears. Okay, and she's blindfolded because she can't see what's going on. But look what there is. There's the devil. Now, he is temptation. So how I'm going to read that is he is the temptation for you to think negative thoughts. He's the temptation for you to go down the wrong path of, I'm going to take a real punt here, but of believing that you need someone in order to feel complete. Because look what's come up. This is what Phil's just been talking about. So we've got the Tower, and this is your opportunity, Jo, okay, to just let the whole love situation come crumbling down and look within. It's what we've been talking about. And what I want to say, because we are creating our reality through, it's a holographic projection of the universe within us. When you love yourself, then you are going to project that level of love in the reality, which is the people that come into your environment, into your experience. So the message I'm getting, Joe, is spend this time this year focusing on raising your own vibration and focusing on your own self-love. And if you haven't read Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, I suggest you read it. And it is about basically loving yourself, because trust me, Joe, if you attract somebody now and you have issues, then you're going to attract somebody with the same issues, right? So this is a time to love yourself first.
That's very in-depth. It's lovely. Deborah, it's lovely. And I think, Joe, I think you probably take on quite a lot there. And I think it's... sometimes I think here that sometimes it's not about going on there, but they did this and why was that and this. It's about, no, it's what can you do now to change your life? What can you do? How can you work on yourself to help you? And I think you're already on a journey already, and keep going, because I think you're doing a fantastic job. And yes, I think, Deborah, I think you put it into very good words there. It's about lifting yourself, having that love of yourself, and you'll meet amazing people. Thank you very much.
And I just want to say here, Phil, if I can, just to remind anybody watching that my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, is available free to download from my website at deborahjanesutton.com. It is totally free, and it is all about loving yourself.
I'm going to go and put that over there.
Raise your vibration.
Okay.
So, Joe, have a look at that. It's completely free, and there might be some stuff in there that you resonate with. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Right. Oh, for goodness sake, no, it just took... I'll come back to that in a minute. So the keyboard took a bit while there, and I wasn't going to wait in a minute. Right, okay, so let's go and have a look at Lisa Morgan. Lisa Morgan comes in. She says, blue, general reading. Blue. Now, Lisa, good evening to you. Now, would you understand if I said to you, Lisa, that for some particular time here, you felt small? Nothing to do with your height whatsoever, but you felt small, because it's the first impression I'm getting here. And I've got two sisters together. They're quite old. They've been in the spirit world now. Two sisters together. They're both talking away to me here. And another lady who was who absolutely believed in you. Absolutely believed in you. And she says to me here, she's watching you right now. She's on the mother's side of your family. And I don't know if it was a job, but she was always ironing. And it may well be that her job was something to do with like working in a, not to say a factory, it could be a home thing. But I think Lisa, she was doing something there. But she's actually coming through. She's standing right beside you. And she is about looking into your life here and about getting you to think taller, to think bigger, and to be stronger in yourself. Because the energy here that I pick up for you, Lisa, is to go and be a mountain. Go be it, and you just have to think it. You just have to think it. Yes. Go on then. Yeah. Go on then. You're going to say something there. Go.
But you're so right. I'm really enjoying this, Phil, because we're saying the same thing, and that's always a good sign.
There you go, guys.
And this is Lisa Morgan. Okay. So as Phil says, it's all about thinking, because you've got the Queen of Swords. Swords, as I've already said, is your thought processes and your beliefs. Now, the Queen is that she's mastered her thoughts. She's completely mastered her thoughts. And if you don't like something, just change the way you look at it. Change the way you think about it. Because your other card is drama, okay? The Five of Wands is drama and conflict and stuff that's going on around you, okay? So the message here is, if the drama isn't about you, okay, it's how you view it, okay? And you don't have to solve the drama. You just have to perceive it from a higher level of consciousness, okay? And it's all about being the queen of thinking, as Phil said. And look what your third card was. It's the Six of Swords, which is very much, again, we've got the thinking, you see. And the message with this card is moving on and moving into tranquil waters after chaos. So there's a clear sign here that you can overcome any drama by the way you think about it.
How's that? I think you can there. If in doubt, sometimes when we talk next, we talk to someone, maybe just make this noise. They'll sort people out. They'll get people in the right direction now, won't it? Brilliant. Okay, let's go on to Julie Geary. Julie Geary's come through and she says, Julie Geary, colour teal and a general reading, please. Oh, your general readings. Well, you're in the army or something, you lot. There's no major readings or captain readings. It's all general readings. Okay, rightio. Right, I'm going to go and look for, after this, I'm going to find someone who's come through with a question. Yes, I just found someone there. So, yes, so we've gone for general reading. Now, Julie, colour teal, general reading. This is interesting because I want to, if I started talking about the words of guilt, please, would you understand where I'm going if I said about the words of guilt? Feeling that if you did anything for yourself, would you understand you think, but what would other people think? What would they do? How would I be? Would you understand if I said to you that you're exploring a little bit of a different life now, but you're taking on a load on your chest here and on your shoulders, which feels like you've been felt restricted. However, I'm dancing here because I got them dancing in the spirit world. I got these lovely people around you, want to dance, lift up, and they say they want you to. It's almost like I just feel like they want you to let go of your inner child or be your inner child and dance, live, love, be happy, do the crazy things in life you want to go and do. If you want to run around the house singing to a HP sauce bottle, the 3 degrees, go and do it. Go and do it. Ketchup's even better. You get a better sound with ketchup. Anyway, good. I'll let you go. What do you think?
No, I think it's you. I think it's you that wants to dance around the.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So Julie Geary, spot on. This is exactly what I want to say as well. So when Phil's saying dance around and be that little child within you, what I want to say, because look, you've got the judgment card, and this is your calling. This card comes up with my interpretation of it is your calling. And this is what Phil and I have been talking about, that when you follow your inspiration and you do what you came here to do what excites you, do what raises your own vibration, whatever creative endeavors. And don't worry about whether it's going to make you money or not, because it's not about making money. It's about raising your vibration, expanding your consciousness, okay? Because then you will come into greater abundance.
Absolutely.
So this
Absolutely.
is your calling. So dance around the HP source. Look, all your dreams,
Good.
all your dreams and wishes are coming. I'm not going to even put it in the future tense. I'm going to say they are coming true. If you follow your calling, you've got to follow your inspiration. Now, Julie, I really hope that you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, yes, there is something in your mind that you want to do and you haven't been doing it, because this is a powerful card. It's a major arcanic card, and it's telling you you're being called. 2020 is the year for awakening. It's a year for everybody to open their hearts and do what they're inspired to do. Because look, here's your 3 ladies celebrating and dancing around the HP source. And this is very much cups, for those of you that don't know, are very much the emotional fulfillment, intuitive, spiritual, and creative suit of tarot. And this card is all about celebrating with like-minded people. So you're going to have support. So whatever it is that you're inspired to do, you need to go and do it. And your wishes and dreams will come true, or they are coming through, I want to say. And there is a tribe. There is a like-minded tribe and support there for you. So they're super powerful cards. So
Wonderful,
that's exciting.
Wonderful. I'm glad you're carrying on the HP stuff here, because it's getting very emotional with some HP stuff. Anyway, I think you need a coffee there. Can I pour you a coffee? It's just to put up your cup there. Is that all right? Is that all right? Oh, there it goes. It worked, didn't it? Anyway, there we go. Good. Okay, let's nip on down. Let's go to Val. Let's go to Val here, because she actually puts up a question. Let's go to a question here. So thanks very much. Hope that worked out there. As you can see, Alan. Okay, right. Sorry, Julie. Anyway, okay. Hi, Deborah, and also, yes, could a colour blue, please? What can you see for my spiritual path and career, please? Right. Okay. So colour blue. Well, straight away, I'm talking about this here. It's interesting here because it's almost like I'm with a gentleman who's playing music, and this is really strong, so strong. Val Val Wardle. Yes. And as you see, her hair's down on one side and not so much the other. It must be because it's quite heavy. So it pulls the hair down. Anyway, never mind. But this is interesting here because I've got this gentleman here who's got a piano in front of him and his fingers are on the keys. Now, what he wants to do is to play a tune. But what he's got to do is to create a tune. Now, it's interesting because this guy saying to me here, he says, you've got the keyboard, you've got the hands, you just need to start playing. So wherever your spiritual path is going here is to start doing it. Start making noises, start making notes, start doing things. Because this guy here is with me and he's not related to you and your family. No, he tells me here he's a friend of yours and he goes to a friend of friends. And he's telling me here, in fact, I want to say Clive as one particular name because he's given me this. And there's also someone else, I think there's David as well, who's coming through as well. And but these are probably names which are down here. But this guy is just saying, I want to play the music. Just give me the tune and let's start living and let's start playing. Because what I can see by this here is this energy is around you at the moment is stopping you, without being rude to you, stopping you from living. Living the way you want to live, where your spirit wants to be. Zing! Dancing around with HP and ketchups and all sorts of... Oh, we're getting a bit dramatic with this. But anyway, yes, dancing around life, having a great time. So, yes, there's that. And I just want to see the producer's up to because she's been messaging here, putting the messages up, going back to and forth, and I'll just see what she's up to. Wow, that's amazing. And all the information's coming through, guys. Yep. Thanks. Yeah, these are all your messages coming through. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Deborah, would you like to go for it, please? What would you like to say?
So this is for Val Wardle, okay? So yes, and I'm going to follow on from what you said. Well, this one again has come up again, and it is common because this is all the stuff on your shoulders. This is all you thinking you can't do things. This is other people. I always think this is other people putting you down, okay? But then you have to remember that the other people are a reflection of a part of you. So there are parts of you that are just not feeling confident. But as Phil says, you have everything at your fingertips.
Yes.
This card is typical of he's looking at his stockpile. He's looking at everything that he's achieved. And so this card comes up when you have achieved a lot. So I want you to look back at your life because there's going to be things that you've done and learned and skills that you've acquired that you don't know why you did them at the time. But this year, you're realizing they're all coming into play. And what's happening is you're going to be, you have everything. You have the experience of everything. You've acquired everything you need. What is lacking? Here we go. Here's your thoughts. Here's your dilemma. This is your doubting yourself. Okay, this is your doubting yourself. Please, 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 Val, trust me. Go forward with exactly, Phil. Go forward with what's inspiring you. Don't listen to other people. If it feels good for you, it is good for you. Because look, Val, the world is your oyster. Look at that. I'm actually quite emotional, actually, because this is such a powerful card, Val. So please, music all the way.
I got one of these. Could use these tissues. Is that all right? Yeah. Sorry, patronising. It's terrible. Thank you very much, Val. Hopefully that works out there. And let's quickly go over to Kelly Bradford Taylor. Blue, should I? I love this. This is brilliant. Wow. Kelly Taylor Bradford, blue, and it colours blue. Should I share my inspired poems? Oh my goodness, I love this. Kelly, I just want to say to you here, as soon as I saw this come up, I just want to just go for it and just go, yes. When I say share here, I think that, yes, I get the feeling here. In fact, I'm going hot in my hands to say to you here, do this, because you're not going to, the wonderful thing that's going to inspire in your life is the feedback you get from people. And people are going to say to you, this is incredible. This is amazing. Go for it. Go for it. Actually I feel abundant with this. So it's lovely. Yes.
Exactly. And as we've been saying all the time, Phil and I, it's about your inspiration, Kelly. So if they are your inspired poems, it's the word inspiration. I mean, if you felt inspired, if they come out of you easily, with ease and grace, if you enjoy receiving them and putting pen to paper, that in itself is healing. But don't forget, what Pablo Picasso says. He says that the meaning of life is to find your gift, but the purpose of life is to give it away. So the answer is definitely yes, yes, yes,
That's
Kelly.
magic. That is magic. I love that. I think we've got to give a big one of these. And I think, Kelly, you also deserve one of these. There you go. That's right. That's right. And when life sometimes throws its funny directions all over the place, sometimes just look at it in a very funny way. And sometimes when we see that funniness, it's life does go a bit funny, but we just need to, that's it, just understand sometimes life is like this. And on that note, that's what life is. You've got to laugh at it sometimes, doesn't it? That's what it sounds like at times. That's what it sounds like. Okay, all Cafe Clairvoyance shows on the Cafe Clairvoyance page and Cafe Clairvoyance group, YouTube, and our website, cafeclairvoyance.com. So you can hear your reading again. And if there's anything else you want to take off the site here, I think do so, because I think this has been such an inspirational and informative meeting, guys. I think I love doing these shows. As much as I've been working in this realm for almost 1988, which means I'm old. You can tell by the grey hairs. It's always fantastic to get someone else's perspective on how they view on life. And Deborah J. Sutton, I think you've been an absolutely fabulous guest. And just talk about this tonight. I know loads of people are going to go into the dusty archives of Cafe Clairvoyance and go and pick out this recorder and go listen to it again, purely for the first part, even about how we're looking about 5D, how we're looking about this dimension in our lives now, and how we can just be and stop responding to the clutter out there. And I think it's been absolutely fabulous. So yes, it's been very touching actually. So Deborah, I just want to say a big thank you from both myself and Deborah to you. And this has been lovely. What can I say? Have you got anything? I hope you've enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed being on the show?
I've had an absolute, sorry, I've got a fly here. I've had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for inviting me. I've really enjoyed it. And if anybody wants to follow me, you can find me on Facebook, Deborah Jane Sutton, my website, Deborah Jane Sutton, YouTube, Deborah Jane Sutton. That's my name. Okay,
we're just going to get that fly for you. We just see him. Just keep very still. Keep very still. You there? Don't move. Got him. Yeah, good. Anyway, so thank you.
I have to say, you remind me of my father, and I'm not completely sure that's a compliment.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, great. Guys, so please join us tomorrow morning. I'm going to be joined by Guillermo. We're doing a live astrology show. We see what's coming on here as it comes towards the end of September. And then the Sunday show next week. But Deborah, I tell you what, it'd be an absolute pleasure to have you on the show again. We're booked up, dare I say, we're booked up for a good few months in front of us for Tuesday evenings, but we'd love to have you on again and do something and just refresh upon this, because I think this is such an inspirational show for everybody. And thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. So, what can we say? Loads of loves and kisses. A big
love to everybody.
Yeah, love to everybody. A big thank you also up the top end of the room here, which is to Deborah, who's been doing the producing the show. She's been working on 3 computers, pressing all the buttons, make sure that everybody is connecting, and putting the show forward for us all. So big thank you there too. In fact, let's give you this. There you go, Deborah. You got one of those. Brilliant. In the meantime, guys, have a nice evening. Stay safe, stay warm, and take care of yourselves. And we love you from the tops of our bottom. So take care, guys. Have a lovely evening.
Bye.
Bye.